Leading is easy when everything's going well. I mean, let's be honest, it's a lot tougher when things are hard, when emotions are running high, when changes abound, answers are few, and the pressure is on. But that's when leadership really matters. And that is when the most effective leaders typically emerge. Don't worry. Today, I'm going to give you 3 tips for leadership in hardship. You ready? Let's go. Tip number 1, don't rush past the problem. Likely, you've arisen to leadership because you have a keen eye for solutions. You're an excellent problem solver, honey. When a problem comes up, you've got the answer. In fact, it might be hard for you to delegate because you do see answers so clearly. You also might have a lot of pressure to solve something, like fix it so we can move on. But here's the thing, when problems arise, sometimes our team is deeply affected by the problem much more than us because they're closer to it. And when we power forward into solution, we can unintentionally abandon them in their emotions around the problem. Now, I'm not suggesting that you coddle, but I am suggesting that you do spend at least some time acknowledging there's a problem, acknowledging the impact of that problem, and also taking responsibility, maybe even collectively, for moving into solution. Just check in before you move on. Got it? Right, next up, leadership tip number 2. Increase transparency. When things get hard, a lot of us instinctively we pull back, we draw back, we guard more. And it could be because things are happening so fast that a lot of things are confidential, they're not ready to share, they're unfinished, or they're in process. Here's the thing, when it's hard, your team's already feeling the hard. You just make it worse when you become guarded. Increase your transparency by communicating more effectively and more often. Here's what you do. You want to share when things are unfinished. You want to let them know what you're starting on or what's in process. If you wait until it's finished to let them know, then you've given them all this anxiety and all this space to make things up because they had no idea it was even on your radar. Let them know the things that are priority right now. They may be obsessing about something that's just not that important to you. And you can do that with clarity, but also with kindness. Another thought is just be honest. Please increase the honesty. Be honest about what you know and what you don't know. Master these terms. I don't have that answer right now, but now that I know it's important to you, I will make sure to let you know as soon as I do. Or I don't have that answer right now, but I have actually been trying to get it. Thanks for bringing it up. Another thing to say might be, I actually know the answer, but I'm not at liberty to share. I promise, though, I'm pushing towards transparency, so you will be the first to know as soon as you can. Something along those lines, right? We just want to know what you know and when we're going to know what you know. Okay, so just think about that with your team. Here's the reason why this one's important, it increases trust. Once trust is broken on your team, it is so hard to repair. And so, how you continue to invest in the trust that you have with your team is by increasing transparency when times are really tough. Ready for tip number 3? Let's do it. Third one shouldn't be a surprise if you know me at all, if you know stand up at all. Ground yourself in emotional intelligence. Here's what that looks like. Emotional intelligence is not just a heightened self awareness, it's self awareness, self regulation, and then taking intentional actions. When we fall off in any of these areas, it's usually because we're under a great amount of stress or we just haven't done that work to begin with. So here's what I would say. If you know that you are a leader who could do a little more work into self awareness, that means deep diving into yourself, the parts of you that are known and the parts of you that are not obvious. Also, self regulation. You may know a lot of things about yourself, but you don't have the regulation, meaning when you get triggered, your team feels it. It makes for an intense team meeting. It makes for a defensive conversation. Maybe you start talking about somebody. That's not self-regulation, and they are not responsible for your emotions. Get it together, okay? And how you do that is through working at your own emotional intelligence. Once you have your self-awareness and your self-regulation intact and managed, then you make better decisions. That's where intentional action comes in. And here's the other piece of this. You're going to ground yourself in emotional intelligence, expect the same of your staff. If you are doing the work, make that work available to them, invest in them, and hold them accountable to the work that they're doing. The more emotional intelligence you have on your team, hardship doesn't feel so hard. What your team needs from you right now is all three of these things, right? Number one, don't rush past the problem. Don't be speedy to the solution. Take your time. It will come. Number two, increase transparency. And remember, honesty is the root of this. Share what you can and what you can't. Say that you can't and maybe give a why. And number three, ground yourself in emotional intelligence and help your team to have the skills to do the same. This is what your team needs from you when it's hard, when it is unclear, when things are changing, when problems abound. This is the kind of leader that they need. Go and be great.